So let's talk from the entrepreneur's perspective, the founder's perspective. What are some options that he or she can think about how they could structure it for their children? You know, maybe one kid's in, one's not. There are different places in their lives. What things, what options should they think about that might be what they would perceive to be a fair division?
Well, clearly there's, the easy, one of the things we're seeing a lot more than we used to in family-owned businesses is selling. It's really been an amazing phenomenon during COVID, the global pandemic. A lot of families are thinking, I'd rather just sell it, the price is right, and not have to deal with any of these challenges. So that's really a viable option, is selling the business just to avoid the stress and challenges of all the things we've discussed.
Is some of that selling it to a family member?
They could, but then again, you run up with the same issues that we discussed of resentment and anxiety and other tensions within the family. So we've seen much larger than normal number of selling outright versus transition over the last year or so. I'd say it's increased dramatically.
Yeah, we have seen situations that work well where instead of having all the kids own a share of the business, even though only some of them work in it, arrange to sell the business to one or more of the family members, with the other family members getting some equivalent value. And as long as they have discussed among themselves what those values are, a lot of times, the child who goes off to be a doctor or a lawyer is happy to just get the value of the business and not have to worry about whether their brother is running it fairly or not.
Is there some motivation now for selling because the tax environment is more attractive, a lower capital gain tax, or is that not part of the evaluation?
Craig, that's a great question. Is right now we are in a short window of relatively favorable tax treatment versus what's been proposed to go into effect in the new year. So there's definitely a rush. If you weren't sure of what to do, a lot of people, that's the tipping scale, because it could be quite onerous, the tax increase. Chip, what do you think?
I think that the tax implications are meaningful for sure, but what our job is to present the owners and the families with their options and to advise them, the pros and cons of each scenario. There's not one right answer, or there'd just be a roadmap to what to do with the family business, but advising the clients what's beneficial for them and where there might be some pain points, and let them decide. And, the tax situation being what it is, the situations where family businesses hire too many people in the next generation with swollen salaries. And so then you go to, hand it off to the third generation, and you realize that this isn't going to work.
That's the Saudi Arabia trough, that the royal family has grown too big.
Yeah. Okay. So, we just go back to, let's take each situation, evaluate it, and present our clients with the options that they have to choose from.
And Chip that's something there is, I think, we offer, it's called Emerald with us, which is a very advanced planning, kind of a SWAT team approach. But we can model out all the different options we've already discussed today. So buy, sell, hold, transition, not to transition, levered ESOPs, selling outright, doing a recap, all these things that are part of the possibilities of funding, changing ownership structure, creating a transition plan. What will the impact be financially? But also, like we're all talking about, is what are the considerations around the family dynamics, family governance, which is the softer part of the equation and very hard to quantify.